I find myself leaning against things all the time. Find myself walking up a flight of steps and going, it's like, what is wrong? And where did this all of a sudden come from? I found myself a year ago looking for an apartment going, man, do I really want to be on the third floor and go up 3 flights of steps every day? Man, it honestly was in my decision-making process. So, it's to a point where, something's got to give. And, I think we're here. My name is Jared Lorenzen, and I've battled with obesity my entire life. My battle with my weight would cut my career short. I'm only 36 years old, with 2 beautiful children, and a lot to live for, so I will not let obesity define me. I may be dying, I'm not really quite sure yet.
I needed stuff. Ready? Relax. You're not bleeding. Do you want a Band-Aid?
I'll be okay.
Okay.
I don't know, you got like SpongeBob or anything?
Huh?
You got like SpongeBob or anything? But
I wish.
I tried to get Batman.
nothing? So I took my daughter to a Bieber concert. Yeah.
Did you have Bieber?
I had Bieber fever. No, what was worse is as soon as we got there, she's like, oh my God, my friends, and left me. So I'm sitting at a Justin Bieber concert by myself.
Going out of here. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
At least every 6 months, we'll look at your liver, kidneys, and then cholesterol, just to make sure that the things we're doing are helping that too. Okay. And then the 90-year-old self will thank you.
Yes. Yeah. 90.
Yeah. If he doesn't get his weight under control, then the diabetes is going to kill him. If it's not the diabetes, it's the sleep apnea and the lung and heart disease that develops from that. If it's not that, it's high blood pressure, stroke. His body's going to give out on him. His body's going to give out on him, and he knows this, and it's going to be a motivator. We just have to, day in and day out, not so much remind him, but at least give him the support he needs to take control of this and eventually get down to where a healthy, manageable weight, where all his comorbid conditions are not cured, but at least in remission, at least manageable. But at his weight, it's just a matter of time.
When I got to the NFL, they give you a weight you have to be between. Mine was, I got to be between 282 and 278. For every pound you're overweight, it's $450 per pound per day.
Did his weight affect him in the draft? I think that it was always a big topic about him.
Yeah, I think that was the big factor. They are going to invest millions of dollars in a guy, and that was always sort of my thought of why he wasn't a higher pick.
So I'm sure that did affect it some. It broke my heart that he didn't, not for me, but for him.
I would definitely say that I think that some NFL teams probably thought that maybe he wouldn't be able to play within a certain weight limit that they wanted, and I'm just happy that the Giants, or any team for that matter, took a shot at him.
Listening to Coach Coughlin say, they wanted to see if he had the discipline. They looked at it as a discipline problem, not so much a weight problem.
You see him going into a situation where they have Eli Manning. It's just, there's not going to be much time for you to prove yourself.
It was a complete shock to me, a shock to my system, because I'm used to preparing and being the guy. And I came out in the same draft as Eli Manning. And I went from, everything at Kentucky to undrafted free agent. So I had to learn my role on every team.
During Eli's rookie year, one of my assignments was to do his DirecTV journal every week. So I would call Eli and we would talk about 45 minutes. And I would have to ask Eli, what was going on in his life as a rookie. But I would always ask him about Jared. And I'll never forget, I said, how's my guy Jared doing? And he said, oh, the battleship? He's like, man, he's a great guy. His locker's right next to mine. And he was like, man, I don't understand how that guy does what he does. He's like, he's a freak of nature, man. He's unbelievable.
He definitely was bigger then, but he could still play. I mean, he still could fire it.
He had the knowledge. He had the discipline. He's got the cannon. But would he be able to, on a very much stricter diet? They're paying you now. So it's a lot different than, college. But that he was going to be able to hit weight.
I would sit in the sauna. I would, Thursday, I wouldn't eat. I'd walk around with a cup or a bottle, spit into it. Wouldn't eat anything, wouldn't drink anything all day. Just spitting in this cup thinking this is 0.2 of a pound, 0.4 of a pound. And I would go to bed super early because I just didn't have any energy. I'm practicing without eating, drinking, nothing. I'd wake up about 4:30 Friday morning, that's weigh-in day. And I'd find out where I am. All right, how much weight do I got to lose? Maybe it's a pound and it's lucky. Maybe it's 5 and it's not so lucky. And from there, I would load up the clothes. So I'd have, my spandex, my shorts, my tight pants, my sweatpants, muscle shirt, Under Armour shirt, long sleeve tight, long sleeve loose, hoodie or sweatshirt, hoodie. Into the sauna. Wait an hour. So now it's about 6:30-ish. I have to weigh in by 7:25. That's where I have to be weighed in by. And find out where I am. Okay, what else do I need to do? I'd run and get on the elliptical. Get the heart rate back up. Now go sit in the sauna. Take off all my clothes. Stand on there. All right, you made it. Cool. Right into the thing. Give me a ham and cheese omelet, 3 orange juices.
I definitely had concerns. I mean, I had concerns when he was in college even, and how it was all going to progress.
We'd have short practice on Fridays. Loved it. Well, when he came back in, there's pizza there. There's Popeyes. There's burgers. There's fries. So I can remember having Cajun rice with popcorn shrimp and a burger. And then I'd go in and watch film with Eli. So again, it was one of those things he just never did it the right way, which is, if you look at it, like I did that for 3 straight years, losing the weight.
I think it just was a situation where he could still play being a little overweight. So with anybody else, you're going to get away with what you get away with, Why lose a ton of weight when you can play at a high level the way you are?
As a high school football coach, you're often telling guys you want them to get bigger. And I used to say to guys, we're telling you to maybe get bigger now, or maybe you're excited about getting bigger now. Maybe you want to get bigger. We don't particularly care if you get bigger, but the rest of your life, you're going to battle trying to get smaller.
He was overweight, but he was still the backup quarterback, and he still won a Super Bowl title.
We made a run all the way to the Super Bowl. I mean, for anybody that's been at the pinnacle of their career, that's it. It doesn't get any bigger than the Super Bowl. It doesn't get any better. I don't care what you've done, where you've been. That's it.
Just being a part of that was really awesome for him. I think that it created an experience he'll obviously never have again in his life, but it was just amazing. It was a really cool time in our lives.
He was a huge role in that Super Bowl run. Him and Eli had a strong relationship, that Eli would come to the sideline and lean on Jared. And a lot of people don't know that. And through the conversations that Jared and I would have, they would talk, what did you see, Jared? The offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach are telling me this, but what did you see? And Jared would tell Eli that. And that's that kind of relationship that you kind of need in order to make a Super Bowl run.
I was never going to play above Eli Manning, especially after we won the Super Bowl. But I think I could have became that Matt Schaub that got a shot somewhere else, and I didn't. Maybe it was because I was bigger, but instead I went from that to another backup role.
So as far as other teams reaching out to Coach Coughlin and the Giants to see if it was kind of worth a risk getting Jared into camp, I think that played a huge role. I think that the big attraction about him is his weight. But the biggest negative thing when it comes to paying a professional athlete is his weight. He has been able to perform at a high level and succeed at a high level, the highest level, with the weight that he carries. But it's just a different ball game when they're investing in you millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Fortunately, he had another opportunity given to him in Indianapolis, but unfortunately for him, it wasn't a situation that they were able to keep him.
I think the Colts weren't really sure they were going to keep any quarterback. They had Peyton Manning. He was hurt at the time. So that was concerning. It's like, well, what's going to happen with Peyton Manning, And then as time goes by, after he's cut from them and more time goes by, yeah, you get worried. But I'm sure the weight had a lot to do with it, and their concern is if he was going to take it all seriously or not.
Again, I think that Jared has never really, through his whole pro and college career, had to look himself in the mirror and say, I've got to lose 50 pounds or I'm not going to be able to do this.
Jared's always done what Jared wants to do. So I think that he didn't want to be flexible enough to make the changes that he needed to succeed in the NFL, and he accepted that, and he came home, and I'm sure he was depressed about it. And so all you have to do is just support those decisions. Whether you believe they're right or not, you just do that. It's just what you have to do.
So Jared and I reconnected again in 2009, and that was when I was the general manager for the Kentucky Horsemen, which is an Arena 2 football team that plays in Rupp Arena, Lexington, Kentucky. And we needed a quarterback. Jared was cool enough to buy in and come and play for the Kentucky Horsemen, which was just one of the coolest experiences I've ever been a part of.
When I came back to play, at first when I was with the Horsemen, I was still okay. I could still move, I could still protect myself, no issues.
And I think his plan was, yeah, I'll go play arena football and stay in shape in case I get called by any other teams, which is smart, you know. Now, having said that, arena football, those guys, you know, they go out there and they play hard, and they're basically playing it on AstroTurf laid over cement and getting thrown around up against some somewhat padded walls. But what Jared did for arena football that season was unbelievable. We were the show on the road.
I did follow him as he was playing in the Arena Football League. I didn't pay attention as much to the outside noise as much as I was just how he played. That's kind of the way I always looked at Jared. I just watched how he played. I didn't really care how he looked. But I saw he was having success. And in reality, probably other people were saying, geez, why is he so overweight? But for me, I was saying, isn't that as special as it can be? A guy who looks like he's an offensive tackle playing quarterback.
That guy, he left it all on the field, and I think that's why people embraced him so much. He knew that he was bigger, and in the arena football setting, I mean, it couldn't have been a better attraction than the biggest quarterback, to come in town, and literally fans wanted to see him run their defense over, and he did it a lot. But it took a toll on him too.
It went 2 years before I played again. And the only reason I played then, it was 3 minutes from my house. But I'm getting a little bit bigger now, and I'm like, these shoulder pads don't fit really good, but these will work.
When Jared went and started playing for the River Monsters in Northern Kentucky, being that big, even though he got bigger, and you were to see his play decline, I think that there would be more concern. But the reason that a lot of people never really approached him about it is because he continued to play at a high level. He's getting bigger, but his play's not declining.
You're playing on concrete, hurts like crazy, you get over it. Then I played another year, and that's the one where you're having a hard time tying shoes. The shoulder pads that I had custom made for me do not fit. The jersey I'm wearing, it was too tight, and I'm asking for a size they don't even make. I looked terrible.
When I saw that photo, that was the starting point for me to say, whoa, my man's he's getting up there.
I was living with him at that time, and I had no idea that was bad. I just, even when the pictures came out, I was just thinking, well, maybe it's just a very unflattering uniform. Green may not be his color, but looking at it now, it's just like, wow, at that time, how did I not notice that this would be potentially the problem that it is today?
We were certainly concerned about him, especially some of the other friends that we all kind of are in a circle together. The concern was always there, but with just like anything in life, doors open and doors close.
I can still remember rolling out to my left and seeing the guy that's coming for me. And me telling my body and telling it, get down, get down, get down, throw it away, get down. And being big and not having the reactionary time, I couldn't get go of it before he hit me and shattered my ankle. You know what? Actually, the first thought was maybe I just rolled it. And then it was, don't look at it. And then it was, and this is sad, how are they going to get me off the field? They tried to put my arms around me and just walk, you know what I mean? And I couldn't. It was swinging, it was dangling, and the pain was too much. And when they had to bring 4 people, linemen, to carry me, what the hell are you doing, dude? So
I think that that's the biggest issue, is that Jared has always been very mobile, even with his size. Even at that point at the River Monsters, when he got that big, we didn't consider how susceptible of injury he would be being that size.
And I guess he didn't realize maybe that he wasn't quite as mobile as he used to be. And when he got hurt, my husband was there, who's a paramedic, so he went down on the field to help. And it was a concern, honestly, from knowing that the ambulance had to take him. I'm a paramedic as well, so I know what it's like to have to move larger patients, and that concerned me. Did they have the equipment necessary? And yeah, I was worried about him the whole time, how this was going to affect him.
He had his struggles. He certainly, probably didn't want to leave on that note for a broken leg and not be able to play football again.
Everything you've ever known, everything you've ever trained for your whole life has just now come to an end, and you're getting older and your opportunities aren't there. So he was just in a bad place.
He realized, his football career at any capacity was over with. He was divorced, and he had a hard time getting around, especially the house he lived in that had so many so many steps to get in and out of. And you could tell he was getting depressed. And yeah, that's a big concern for me. Jared's always been the kind that if you approach him on something, if you don't do it carefully, he kind of shuts you down and shuts you out. So I try to I think we all kind of dance around things with him, just to not make him shut down. But yeah, I was very concerned about his health and his mental and physical health.
Being as big as I am, there are everyday struggles that people don't realize. They just don't. When I walk down an aisle, I gotta look to make sure I can fit down that aisle, first of all. And God forbid to be somebody else in there. Am I gonna go, front to front with them? Am I gonna go back? How am I gonna get around this person? Restaurants. I gotta kind of look and wait. Oh, I'm gonna go this way. Haha, Dad's going the long way. To make sure that, hey, I can get around these people. Steps. How many are there? Damn, I gotta take the elevator. Or let there be an escalator. How long are we gonna go to the mall and walk? Where are we gonna go? Hey, no, honey, I'll drop you off. You go do your thing. Because I know I'm not gonna be able to walk for an hour. I just can't. It's just the way it is. I've gotta strategically plan out when I gotta tie my shoes. So I can take a deep breath and relax. Sleeping. I cannot tell you the last good night of sleep I got. I wake up minimum 4 times a night. And not just like, and go back to sleep. I'm talking wake up, I'm up for 10, 20 minutes, then I go back to sleep. Having said that, I can sit in my office at 9 o'clock in the morning and sit there and just all of a sudden I'm dozing off. And it's like, what in the world? Is it a blood sugar? Is it narcolepsy? What is it? So, there's everyday stuff that people don't realize that it's about it when my biggest fear is I'm driving and I'm not off. It happened to me the other day. God, imagine if my kids were in the car. Oh. So it's stuff that not everybody realizes that everybody's got to deal with on an everyday basis.
It doesn't matter what has happened up until now. Let's just fix the problem now and work towards the future. That's the most important part for Jared, is that he has gotten to a point now where he has saw where, okay, this is not healthy. I'm not able to sustain a life this way. So I'm gonna have to start working towards a better life. We just want to see a healthy Jared moving forward.
So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a long journey. But at the other side, there's a whole new life there. And that's what I'm looking forward to getting to. I'm looking forward to getting back and being the guy that wants to take pictures and hang out and be at the field. I get to be able to come out of this a whole new man with whole new respect. If I can get respect from my daughter when she looks at me, I know how proud she is. If I can get the other people in the community to go, look, if Jared can do it, we know Jared. If Jared can do it, let's jump on this bandwagon, let's do it. And to know that I could be that person that got such and such off his meds, or that was able to connect him with his son or daughter. I mean, that's all you can ask for.
Hey, I'm Allison, Director of Nutrition for Kroger. I'm so excited to tell you about OptUP, our new app created by our team of dietitians and food experts that makes it easy to shop and eat healthy. It links up with your shopper's card and automatically loads nutrition ratings for all the items you've bought. Then it suggests healthier items. You can even track your progress over time with your OptUP score. Download it for free today on the App Store and Google Play.